Hello and welcome to Worth Beyond Earth. This is a space for souls who've never quite felt like they belong here on Earth. And now are starting to remember why. Here we talk spirituality, crystals, starseeds, the soul's journey across dimensions. I'm Marina, and together we will remember who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. Let's go beyond. Okay guys, hello, welcome. Today I have a very special episode for you because today I prepared something that I have not formally done before, at least not for the wider audience. So I received a suggestion or a notification from my higher self that I need to record a session of a very special topic. And the topic that I was suggested to record on sounded very interesting and very vague and very broad to me. And it sounded something like, talk about the purpose of the starseeds right now on Earth, and specifically talk about the future events. So what is going to happen for the starseeds in the near future, and what starseeds should be aware of right now. And I thought to myself, I definitely do not have enough information on my own to answer any of these questions. So what I decided to do channeling for you guys. I have never on purpose contacted the representatives of the different civilizations and asked them specific questions with the purpose of recording this and uploading it online for other people. Normally I communicate with different civilizations just for myself and asking the questions that are relevant for me, but this is the suggestion that I was given to myself from my higher self, and I of course had to follow it. So what I did, I basically explained my intention for this episode, that I want to discuss this topic as it was suggested, and I requested relevant civilization, whoever felt like they would like to share their view and their opinion, to come through and help me answer some of the questions that I prepared. And to my surprise, it was a representative from Sirius. Normally I do not connect with them. It was actually the first time I was contacted back. I was connecting with them, and it was really incredible. The information that they give is very precise, is very calm, it's very straight to the point, and it's very explanatory. Because normally, if I contact with someone like Lemuria, for example, it's a lot of emotions, it's a lot of energy that is streaming or downpouring on me. Whereas this one was very rational to me, and it gave very precise answers to the questions that I asked. I wrote it all down, and today I will share it with you guys. So which questions did I prepare for this episode, and which questions I asked the representative from Sirius to help me answer? The first one was, what's currently unfolding on Earth, and what should starseeds be aware of in correlation to it? The second one was, what role do starseeds play in these current events that are happening on Earth? The third one was, what concrete steps should we take as starseeds to fulfill our present mission? What should we actually do? And the last one was, what's happening to starseeds who are struggling, who are in pain, or maybe are still not awakened? What shall they do to get back to their most favorable timeline? Again, asking for precise guidelines and direction. And I got the answers to all of these 4 questions, and I'm very excited to share them with you today. So, when I asked the first question, what's currently happening on Earth and what should starseeds be aware of in correlation to it, I immediately saw a picture. And of course, it's not a surprise that right now there is a great split that is happening on Earth. And starseeds are here to connect the pieces of the reality that is sort of breaking apart and almost cracking at the seams. The planet and this plane are literally falling apart, tearing apart, and starseeds, through the power of their heart's energy and the power of their intention to heal this world, are almost like a glue that holds it all together from the complete split, from the complete rupture. And in front of my eyes, I saw a picture as if the ground was cracking under our feet, like, you know, in movies during an earthquake or a cataclysm. And at the same time, I saw from a third person perspective, I saw there were people standing on both sides of the cracks, the Starseeds, and other people who agreed to help with this transition, with this process. And I saw from their hearts come powerful streams of energy of like beautiful pink, golden, pearlescent color, like quite dense and beautiful and strong. And this energy, it connects the hearts of Starseeds. And again, those souls, that could be also Earth souls or souls from other worlds who agreed to come here and help to stop this split. So it's not only the Starseeds from other civilizations that we normally call them like that. And this energy that is flowing from the hearts and connecting people on both sides of the split, I saw it indeed as like the metaphorical glue that joins and holds together the already crumbling edges of the earth. And the image reminded me of stitches that join the separating edges of the wound and holding these edges of the wound together so the wound can heal. And I saw it as if Starseeds have come into every group or every place on Earth, every society, into every corner of the system, and are standing on opposite edges of this, you know, widening gap, widening chasm. And we still see each other as we truly are. We feel each other, we feel each other's energy. And thanks to this connection of our hearts, we are still holding these edges back from the complete separation. And we must be in our center. We must have our hearts open, centered, and awakened, and aware that on the energetic level, we serve to keep this energetic layer from rupturing. So this is what's currently happening, and this is what we are all effectively doing. The second question was, what role do Starseeds play in these current events? Is it by chance that we are here, or maybe not? And of course, I think you already feel the answer yourself, especially if you're a Starseed. Since we are now rising the vibrations of this world by rising our own vibrations, all of us, one way or the other, came here to heal, for healing. This doesn't mean that every Starseed has the actual task of doing healing work on people, like on their bodies, on their minds, consciousness, or emotions. On contrary, we heal the whole system when we live from the heart, because we rise the vibrations of the space around us, from the environment. And through this, we ourselves, as well as the people and the environment around us, also rise in vibration. And through this, we heal the energetic pockets or bubbles we live in. And our pockets or energetic bubbles of our personal reality, they might not be directly connected to each other among all the Starseeds, right? We don't know all of us each other, but rather we are forming sort of like an energetic grid, and through our local connections, the knots that are attached to us directly, we all form a big grid on Earth right now, and we strengthen the energy and we are improving the conductivity of this whole energetic system. And I felt a very sort of strong recognition of this idea, and I would say that this is why you may feel kinship or friendliness or attraction to different Starseeds around you, even though you don't know these people. You might not be directly in contact with them, or you're not related. You're, so to speak, don't come in actual relation, and you might come with these people from completely different star systems, from different universes, and even different dimensions and planes, but you do recognize each other's pure and light energy. You recognize the open heart of these people. So even though like your interest cannot be explained by just some, simple human attraction or physical attraction or emotional attraction. It's more like you recognize each other on a fundamental energetic level. And as I said, you might not come from the same place. One could be Pleiadian, another one can be Lemurian, Syrian, Arcturian, Lyran, you name it. But you still feel the different energy, the different vibration, and that's what makes you feel kinship. And I would say myself, it makes you feel very happy to meet with these people, even if you don't indeed come into any relation like friendship or relationship. So what will happen next is quite clear to everyone. We've been hearing about it a lot from other channelers. There is a lot of information about this from the past. It was forecasted and foreseen. The situation of this split will, of course, keep intensifying. It will keep heating up. And polarization in the society as a global planetary society, and polarization in local society, small groups of people, it will become more polarized. Yeah, the polarization will become sharper and more extreme. And on the emotional level, this will show up as different conflicts between people on different kinds of groups, disagreements belonging to different religious or cultural, historical groups. And this is, of course, very sad for all of us who have the open heart. We see a lot of suffering that we deem unnecessary. And it hurts us a lot to see what is happening, but it is the reality, and there are, of course, very strong and big reasons for it to happen this way. So we just need to, again, accept it as it is and work with it. That's why we came here, right? So as such, I would say, as Starseeds, we just must remember not to get involved in the material game. We came here under different rights, quote unquote, or we came here on special conditions and with a different task. And we are here more observers to the game and not players, even more so than the Earth souls that would prefer to be at times observers as well. And we can, of course, choose otherwise. We can choose to play the game, we can choose to participate, but it's up to each soul's decision, right? There is still freedom of choice, and you can stay an observer as you came here to be, as a learner, or you can become a very active player of this rupture and this disparity and this crack that is happening right now in the society. It's up to you. In my experience, the Starseeds come from very different places, and they come with very different type of energy and very different purposes. Some of the Starseeds are feeling more like warriors, and they feel the call to defend the weak. They feel the need to restore the justice and all of that. Some other Starseeds come here just to purely channel information or energy, or maybe heal the hearts, heal the bodies through healthcare, for example. So there is no one size fits all. All I'm trying to say is that if you are a Starseed, it's not an obligation for you to participate like others do, right? It's up to you. And even, for other souls that are here, not only Starseeds, it's always freedom of choice in this world, on this planet. This is the rule, the freedom of choice. So you can always decide. But for some of the Earth, they come here with karma, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in detail. And for them, it's very necessary that they do participate more than others. That's what the soul basically comes here to do. But for Starseeds, that's not always like a demand from you. You can just stay an observer, a mindful observer, of course. And here in parentheses, I would say that it's not really possible nor probably desirable to completely withdraw from participation. It's the whole other different big topic that maybe I can talk about next time, but you cannot plug yourself out from the matrix. You cannot really withdraw from the society. in a sense that technically, of course, you can go out and live in the jungle in a hut, or live in the mountain, or live in a monastery. You can physically do that. As I said, there is always a freedom of choice, but that's not going to be your optimal timeline. And I'm going to talk about this as well a little bit more in detail later. So yeah, freedom of choice and no obligation, so to say, when it comes to this part. If it comes to, struggling and suffering and pain that some of the starseeds are inevitably experiencing living in a society, the society is really harsh, especially right now. Just know that it's not always that you have to go through this suffering. You don't have to always struggle. There are ways to get out of suffering and get out of pain that again comes as your special condition of you coming on earth to do this work. So also, as I was shown, some of us have never had incarnations on earth before. Some of the souls came here for the first time. And this means that those souls do not have the same cycle of personal karma as earth souls do. That's why we may feel lost and disconnected from our family, from the culture, even from the human race as a whole, because some of us don't have the memory and experience of living here before, so we don't recognize anything. It can be a struggle, some things. Some things, are very unfamiliar. Some people have problem with their body from the material world, from the need to have a job and to earn money. And some starseeds do genuinely struggle with that. And they really don't understand how some of the things work. Again, because they just don't have enough experience in this. Some of the souls come here from other material worlds where there is some form of matter, some form of density, but some souls come from the place where it's just pure energy. There is no matter anymore. There is 7D, 9D spaces, and there's just no body that you can inhabit the same way you do here. So it can be a big struggle to learn that you need to have proper sleep, you need to properly eat, you need to do some sports or at least stretch yourself, Some of this might come as, a lot of learning as well, on top of all other things that we have to really deal with here. So again, just because we are a starseed and we have to participate in a society doesn't mean that we have to struggle and suffer because of that. And further, I will also share what was passed on to me as a recommendation what to do in such cases in question number 4. So if you do recognize yourself here, as I certainly did, I will give you instructions what to do. What can you do in this case, and you do not have to feel or be isolated if you never came here on earth before. There is a way to incorporate yourself in the society properly. So that's really good news. Moreover, it was emphasized to me that as a basic part of the contract under which starseeds came here, you can call it a volunteer contract, quote unquote, we have already been given everything we need for a living, like as a starter pack, you can say. And this starter pack is not just for surviving and barely scraping by, but for a full, joyful life. It might not be exuberant life of, like obscene luxury and all of this type of things, but it will be a very sufficient, very happy, very fulfilling life for you. And there's a very serious reason for that, and I will explain it to you in detail. Why do you need to have a full, complete, and joyful life in order to realize your mission? So effectively, if you come with the mission to heal Earth, you cannot feel in need, because that will block your heart. And if your heart is not open, then you can't do any healing. So as I said, you come here on special terms with a special contract. And the part of that contract is that you are given the basic things as a default, unless your mind and your ego kick in, and then the whole circus might start. as it happens for some of the people more than for others. So some starseeds have additional tasks of clearing the karma of the family or the lineage, for example, because you came here into a family, you were born into a specific family that has its own tasks and needs. And when you are incarnated, you sort of sign a contract with your family lineage as well to do certain work for the family, for the ancestry. And in this case, for example, if we're talking about these tasks that you receive from family, from childhood, you basically have a mission or a program in relation to your family. And what you simply need to do is to work through that handed over to you task. And then if you fulfill that task from your family, from your lineage, you are basically secured from the material perspective. For example, in my own family, in my own case, I always knew from early childhood what I was and what I wasn't supposed to do in relation to my family. And I felt that like there is a special state my ancestry line is currently in, and I knew what part of fixing that state I needed to do. I always felt it, I always knew it, and I knew that as long as I stick to this task, as long as I do it, I clearly feel that I'm fulfilling the lineage program and I'm fulfilling part of my job here as my contract with the family that I'm born into. So there can also be some personal programs. Even again, if you have never incarnated on Earth before, you can still have a personal program and some set of tasks, but it's not the same as karmic tasks as we would call a karma for Earth souls that are being born on Earth to learn through some lessons. So for example, if you came here from a lower density, you may have chosen upon incarnating the task of getting to know matter. You came from a very highly vibrating energetically world, and you wanted to know what is 3D matter, what is 3D place, and you might have chosen to experiment with that. That could be a part of your personal task here. You may have had in the past or now challenges or tasks connected with understanding your body, how it works, relationships, how society is structured, how communication happens between different people, between generations, how creativity works, all these type of things. So you could have chosen very many different tasks that could be related to metaphysical abilities in the human body, or something like that. And if you want to know exactly what kind of tasks have you chosen for yourself before incarnation, you can just ask your higher self and your guides and your teachers, who always oversee your progress. So you can either learn these techniques yourself, how to access them, how to receive information from them, or you can of course ask someone else to do it for you. You can ask for a service from practitioners who already know how to do it and how to get in contact with the higher selves, the teachers, the guides, the angels, and so on. So the main thing is to understand that always at any time you are under protection and you are under care. Every one of us as a starseed, we have a very specific contract for this incarnation. And this contract comes with special clauses and articles with asterisks. And there are both privileges and there are also special responsibilities. So that was the answer for the second question. If you have any questions, any comments when it comes to these first two questions, please feel free to text me, to write your comment, get in contact with me. I would be very happy to hear what resonated with you, even if it was something very small or maybe something that you knew already before, or if it's something completely new, you've never heard of this before, maybe you even disagree with something. I would be very happy to read that and to reply and have a conversation about it. Because at the same time, we are all here together. We are all meant to be connected to each other, help each other. And that is part of the role that we came here to play in any case. So from my heart to yours, remember who you are, stay curious, stay open. You are worth beyond Earth. Until next time.